Hello, welcome back to Uprising TV. With me is Paul from BREED 77. Hello, Paul.
How's it going?
It's going very well. It's going very well. Thank you for sparing your time because I know you're on a busy schedule. And, well, firstly, welcome back to the UK. It's been a very long time. It's been 10 years. Yes, I've done some research. I'm literally, right, I was outside earlier and we've got so many people today. It's like, it's one in, one out, one in, one out.
Yeah.
And I had a break outside and I was just like, what are BREED 77 up to now? Oh, I'm glad I did this. First gig back in the UK for 10 years.
It is.
Awesome.
Super exciting. Exciting. It's been way too long. The time is right. And it was divine providence. Like while the band was asleep, as we like to call it, we would have loads of emails through of offers to play and stuff like that. And Simon's email was just like sent at the right time. He'd sent me like for last year and he wrote to me last year and talking about it. And I just talked to Danny, like our guitarist, like, dude, we need to hang our coat on something. There needs to be something, like a catalyst.
Yes.
And we were already recording. We had songs. It's like let's try and focus everything around this time. So we put out a single at the beginning of the year, End of the Line. So we've got we've got new music back, and we're putting out another single on Monday called Outside. So we're trying to be happening and in the now, and Uprising is going to be like it's the starting blocks of something awesome, hopefully.
Well, the video for Outside looks amazing, and the snippet of the music was like just classic BREED 77, but I felt like with a twist, kind of like updated.
Yeah. I think we're different people, but more important than anything, like we didn't want to come back and be that legacy band that had the album that was really big way back when. We wanted to have music that we were proud that we could stand behind, and that's warm, and so that we had something new to offer, So we want to be of the now rather than of the back then.
Dude, the reason I'm smiling is we put an album out in 2019. We'd only got one single out, but we had to hang our hats on something. So we played Uprising, right? And the exact same thing. We hadn't done anything for years, but we didn't want to come back and be. Oh, we're playing all those old songs again, and we've got nothing to offer.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no, you can't just come back and do that. We've got to come back, and we've got to do something new. We've got to prove that this isn't a karaoke band playing the old songs.
Yeah.
This is something that's going to play the old songs and take it forward.
Totally.
Exactly. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. Exactly. Like you're gonna the old songs are always gonna be there, and you need to respect them because people love your music. That's why we do what we do, because people like going to see that. But you also have a responsibility to take it forward, and
absolutely
and carry on. You have a responsibility to the music you're making, and this music you're making is what people latched onto. So hopefully they like the next thing that you do. And I think it's to make it more exciting. I think if we're excited about something, it translates, it makes for a better performance of that music. It makes, if we are just like going through the motions and just playing that, we've got to play that song because people like them, that song that was at the charts, you're going to play, and it'll become after a while you just become a parody of yourself. And also I think if you're just going to come back and play the old songs, for me, well, that's one tour. Like, what are you going to do after that? You've got to have, if you're coming back with new stuff out, it tells people that come along, hear those old songs, hear some new ones as well, and then there's going to be more coming in the future. And this isn't just a one-ticket wonder. You're coming back with something meaningful, and you want to want to do it properly. For us, it's been like the industry's changed so much since we were last kind of involved. Everything's changed. Like we rode, well, not rode because it wasn't a wave, but MP3 happened right when we had our most successful album, and it sold really well, but it was hit.
I know it did. I bought one.
And then it was, then it was hit. Everything was like, it was MP3, and the piracy of songs started. So it was of kind of like, it's like
the world wasn't ready for it. But now the world is right in there. That's what they do. They do MP3, they do the stream, they do all these more disposable means of consuming music. And for us coming back is like, how can we come back and be a part of this new school of thought and still be old school? And for us was like, we realized that you didn't have to wait to have an album ready to come back out.
Yeah.
That's really great. I think that's awesome now. So you just line up a bunch of singles.
Absolutely,
you put them out, and you got product out. At the end of the day, like, product's not really selling. It's an excuse to be out there, and what have you. But at the end of the day, we still have the end game of making an album. So we want to have the two experiences in one. Make the most of putting out singles and being able to be here now and be out now. Or else we'd have to wait for us to get off our ass and finish the album before and do this album cycle thing. That's gone out the window. Everything's changed. So we're trying to go with this new flow and see how it works for us. And we're, besides being new, we're an unsigned band. We are a very, very popular unsigned band right now. We don't have a record deal.
They're unsigned. They don't have a record deal.
We don't have a record deal. No, but a lot of people think, dude, we put out like 2 videos this year. Like, we pay for that.
Yeah.
We've flown over from, we come here and there's an expense to it. So we're doing things off our own back. And it feels great.
Yeah.
It feels, there's a little bit of that when we started kind of thing. But at the same time, it's like when something doesn't get done, it's because you've not done it, So it's kind of like every time, we're kind of, we've got a great team working with us, But at the same time, we've got our fingers in all the pies because everything's like very manageable right now.
Yeah.
Things are blowing up in different sections, like merch and stuff like that. But I'm still sending out every shirt, and doing stuff like that, and I'm trying to find this weird kind of limbo in between grassroots kind of DIY band, and the and kind of the world where we kind of live and where we play, like a mid-level type venue and what have you, and people expect a certain degree of professionality.
Absolutely,
professionalism. Sorry, but we're caught between two camps, we're the kind of guys of like, hey, dude, if we, if you get paid, like to say a sum, you get paid $1,000 for a show, and you go like, if we do the roading and we do the driving, and we do this and we do that, then it can be, then it's much better economically. But at the same time, I think it takes a lot of the ego out of that the whole thing. Like on the van app, we were talking a lot about just different ego dynamics within band structures, how people treat crew, how people treat different things, and sometimes you can go a little bit up to yourself, especially when you're a young band and you hit paid up for the first time, and you got money for crew and everything like that, and it can go to your head. And for us, it was not like, because if you saw Gibraltar and just like the way Gibraltar is, like the way Gibraltarian people are, like we don't take anybody's crap. It's like everybody, like we all know better than each other. Nothing impresses us. A very, very small town kind of thinking. So it's impossible for ourselves to give ourselves airs and graces and have a roadie and say, oh, do that for me. I find it like my day job now. I'm manager of like a workforce of like 30-something people, and I find it so hard to give anybody any instructions. Like, excuse me, can you do me a favor and maybe do your job kind of thing, But it's like that for us. It's like that. It allows us to be super grounded. And when you're super grounded, everything that happens in this life is a gift. Every gig you go to, every experience you have, is so much more, because you're not expecting anything and you don't think that everything's owed to you. And there's a lot of people out there like that, they go out and they're just like chest out, and they're the shit, like that. And for us, it's not like that. If any of us would get like that, the other one would cut them down at the knees immediately. So we have so much fun doing everything we do. And for us, like this return is like, it's like a kid. Like we are fans of music first and foremost. And not only fans of other people's music, even our own. We enjoy it.
I'm the biggest fan of my band.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it's your band. You're meant to make the music that you like.
But that's why you can go on stage confident in what you put out. Because if I'm the biggest fan of my band
and I like the new stuff. Mm-hmm. It must be okay then, you know.
And you've got to believe it before anybody else does.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
I think there
quality
was
control.
I think there was once I saw an interview with the the Gallagher brothers, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it was early on in their career. They'd just about broken big, but they were going like, and they had this swagger. It's like, kid, if you don't believe you're the shit or you're the top dog, how is anybody else going to? So that self-belief, they took it to an extreme.
yeah, just a bit, yeah.
But that self-belief, I think, is very valid, you know. And I think, as you say, it's like it gives you the confidence, and it should be a complete no-brainer, you know. Like if it's your band and you're playing your music, of course you should like it, you know. If you don't like it, that's a problem. That's a serious problem.
But you've also, I think, you've got to be objective. You've got to be able to go, hang on, is this objective? Do I like this because I'm involved with it, or is it objectively good?
I think,
and for me, I can be that objective.
I think it's the process. The process will determine why you like it or how you like that song. And if your process is not correct, for want of a better word, but if your process is a good process, in that there is the right temperance of critique, of appreciation, of you have to sometimes you have to take yourself out of it, you know, to be objective and stuff. But I think if you have that kind of, and especially like in our band, we're the worst critics of each other. So like if a song gets through that process, you know, it's for us, it's like, dude, it's got to be all right, like, because we're really hard on each other and on ourselves, I think. And the interim gap we've had has made that even worse, because our confidence,
or better.
Our confidence was gone. At least mine, speaking personally, if you're not out there, you're not doing, how do you know if you can still do it? Yeah. And like when we stopped playing, I was like, I put ourselves up with any band live. We're shit hot live. We're gonna, you know, I'd be confident in that. We're confident in our music, but now you haven't had the chance to practice that for years. We're coming back and we're putting new stuff out, what have you, and constantly thinking like, is this going to be good enough? So maybe the barometer of quality within the band was almost elevated, and it was like, and then the experience, you know. Oh, we've done something like this before, you know. We're a band with 5-6 albums, so we've got a bit of experience. Yeah. So you can be second guessing yourself a lot of the time, and usually I find that when you lose that second guessing and stuff like that, you just let rip. Usually when the magic happens, you know. Yes. You can't be too conscious of it. You think that, oh man, I've found the formula for lightning in a bottle, but no one ever has, and they never will. And I think like the more you're, and as again I was telling Dan before, man, because we're older and wiser, where it's easier to come to those conclusions as a band, whereas before it would have been just an argument about everything, you know, and there's also passion in what we do, so there's always like heated discussion. But now we're able to see things clearer. We're able to communicate better with each other as well. I think, you know, like age has a lot to do. And hopefully the result of all of this, before, you know, we're just going off on this tirade of like self wellness and what have you. And I've got to watch my words, because we're not as PC as woke as the UK in Gibraltar. Yeah, there's like a million different words I've been told I cannot say. But
not by me, by the way.
But no. But hopefully, like everything I'm talking about, like the result of which would be like that we're going to come back better, faster, louder, harder, stronger, you know.
Absolutely.
That is the end game of what we're doing, you know. And like I've always drawn the analogy, like the band is like a baby. We do everything for a baby. It's a child, you know, and whatever it takes. Yeah. And we've decided that we were at a place, you know, like to put that commitment back in, you know, and to go the full 9 yards.
Well, I think with age, you become more comfortable in your own skin, and there are things that are I think one of the most important things about the dynamic being right in a band is the band not being the most important thing in everybody's lives. But when you're younger, you think that it has to be the most important thing in everybody's lives, and that's what drives that tension in the band all the time. But once it's not, and you can see it for what it is, and all appreciate it, you all work so much better together.
No, it's an interesting point. It's a very, very interesting point. I'd not really thought about it to that length, to that place. But it's true that but for us it's changed that in that it's been for a few months, it's been gaining more importance, and then the way we work is that when we're on.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
And it's all on, and I don't know when to start or when to finish. So the last 3 months have been like no sleep and doing everything. Like I also do the design aspect, everything. So I do the videos, I do the t-shirts, I do the covers, and there's been just so much stuff, and it's just been snowballing, and the better things have been going, the bigger that snowball becomes.
Yeah.
And the bigger the work becomes, and I should really take a leaf out of your book, and you see, like, it's true. It's not the most important thing. It's one of the most important things.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's not the most important thing. And I realize, and I've taken decisions in the band, like when I left the band, anything, there was much more important things happening in my life that I had to take care of. But in any case, I think it's very valid to be realistic about the importance of the band and the importance of your life, and how you manage your outside life affects and impacts the band.
Yeah.
Because if you're not happy and you're having crap happening outside because you're not happy with something you do in the band, that effect is only going to
bring that to the band. Yeah, exactly.
Even more.
But also, just to pick up on something you said there, which I completely agree with, and it kind of sort of ties in with what I was saying as well. It might not be the most important thing in your life, but when you're doing it, it is. It has to be. Otherwise, people would notice, because you have a bar, and you do not ever drop below that bar.
Exactly, that's what you do as a young band. You're just setting that bar, and that bar, you're just pushing that bar higher.
But you come back, and you want to go. Well, yeah, okay, that's the bar, and we're
hopping over it, and
then we're going to pull it up a bit. Yeah.
And no, true that. But another reason I think that you have to go full on as well, and I think it's important for anybody watching out there, is that if you don't give it your all, there's a million other bands are giving their all that day.
Absolutely.
And it's a harder world out there.
It's a jungle out there.
Yeah. And that's why you've got to stay on top of stuff. And if you don't have the passion and the inclination or the luck, there's a big part of luck in that.
Yeah.
Then don't bother,
Well, I was saying to somebody the other day, they were saying, I'm struggling to find new music. And I was like, dude, you are living in a time where there has never been as much access to as much music at any point in human history. So if you can't find any new music, that's on you.
You're not looking.
Yeah.
You're not looking.
Yeah. Just look harder. That's all you need to do. So speaking of new music, 2 singles, and then you're going to start, will they be on an album?
Yeah. The album's coming out, we're looking towards the end of the year.
Right.
We'll be lucky if we get there or not, but we've got most of the album recorded. We're going into the studio in a couple of weeks to do some more, and the idea is to release and have another excuse to be out here and talking to you.
Yeah, awesome, man. Honestly, it's so good to have you back. It's so good to have you back. It really is.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
BREED 77. Keep an eye out. They're going to be everywhere very soon. We'll be back with some more bands in a bit.